Hello again. This is our fourth lesson of this week, and I was talking about Demre, as you remember. And now I would like to talk about St. Nicholas Church in Demre. St. Nicholas is now known as Santa Claus. About the church, this church may not be vast like Hagia Sophia, or maybe it doesn't have brilliant mosaics like Kariye Museum in Istanbul, but the Church of St. Nicholas, where this saint was laid upon his death in 343 AD, is a nonetheless a star attraction for pilgrims and tourists alike. Well, although St. Nicholas is no longer in sarcophagus in the church features interesting Byzantine frescoes and mosaic floors. Okay, there is also Myra around this place. If you only have time to see one striking honeycomb of Lycian rock tombs, then you can choose the memorable ruins of ancient Myra. Located about 2 kilometers inland from Demre's main square, they are among the finest in Lycia. There is a well-preserved Roman theater here, which includes several theatrical masks carved on stones lying in the nearby area. Okay, now it's time for somewhere I really love. When I lived in Antalya, when I was young, I used to visit this place a lot. And I strongly recommend everyone to go and visit. It's Olympos and Çıralı. Well, it's about 65 kilometers northeast of Demre, past Finike and Kumluca. A road leads southeast from the main highway to ancient Olympos, with its town-below beachside ruins and backpacker camp community. On the other side of the mountain and over the narrow Ulupınar stream is Çıralı, a holiday hamlet with dozens of hotels and pensions that may look like it was born yesterday, but contains the most enigmatic of classical icons, the eternal flame of the Chimeria. Yes. Well, Olympos is an important Lycian city in the 2nd century BC. And it is more famous these days for being the beach resort of choice for backpackers, especially. Staying in an Olympos tree house at one of the dozen or so camps that line the 1.5 kilometer long trek along the valley down the ruins and beach has long been the stuff of travel legend. The former hippie trail hotspot has gentrified considerably in past years, and during summer it can be pretty overcrowded. Most people come to loll about and swim at the beach that fronts the ruins, but there are also numerous activities available from agencies and camps in Olympos, including boat cruises, canyoning, sea kayaking, paragliding, diving, mountain biking trips, and rock climbing. Some of the best and most difficult rock climbing is at Hörgüç. It's the wall opposite Olympos. Well, let's talk about the ruins of Olympos. The rambling ruins of ancient Olympos are scattered beside the trickling Ulupınar stream and set inside a deep shaded valley that runs directly to the sea. Olympos devotedly worshipped Hephaestus, the god of fire, which may have been inspired by the Chimeria, an eternal flame that still burns from the ground not far from the city. Olympos went into decline in the 1st century BC. The arrival of the Romans at the end of the 1st century AD brought about the city's rejuvenation, but pirate attacks during the 3rd century caused the city's importance to wane. In the Middle Ages, the Venetians and Genoese built fortresses along the coast, but by the 15th century, the site had been completely abandoned. Well, and there is Çıralı near Olympos. Çıralı is a relaxed, family-friendly hamlet of upscale pensions and hotels, leading down to and along a beach lined with a dozen restaurants. It's a quieter alternative to the backpackers' haunt down the beach at Olympos, and it's close to the magical and mystical Chimera. Known in Turkish as Yanartaş, or burning rock in English, the Chimera is a cluster of flames that blaze spontaneously from crevices on the rocky slopes of Mount Olympus. At night, it looks like hell itself has come to pay a visit, and it's not difficult to see why ancient people attributed these extraordinary flames to the breath of a monster, part lion, part goat, and part snake, which had terrorized Lycia. The mythical hero Bellerophon supposedly killed the Chimera by mounting the winged horse Pegasus and pouring molten lead into the monster's mouth. Today, gas still seeps from the earth and bursts into flame upon contact with air. The exact composition of the gas is unknown, though it is thought to contain methane. Although a flame can be extinguished by covering it, it will reignite close by into a new and separate flame. At night, the 20 or 30 flames in the main area are clearly visible at sea. And the best time to visit is after dinner. From Çıralı, you can follow the road along the hillside marked for the Chimera until you reach a valley and walk up to a car park. From there, it's another 20 or 30-minute climb up a stepped path to the site. Well, you can bring a torch. It's a 7-kilometer walk from Olympos, but most camps also organize transport every night after dinner. Okay, now I would like to talk about some place that I really love again. It's Phaselis. It's a romantically sited Lycian port, and it was founded by colonists from Rhodos as early as the 7th century BC on the border between Lycia and Pamphylia. And its wealth came from the shipment of timber, rose oil, and perfume. The extensive ruins are arranged around 3 bays, each with a diminutive beach. Much of what's left dates from Roman times. If you look out for Hadrian's Gate, the South Harbor's Agora, you can see the North Harbor's wonderful colonnaded street. Phaselis is 6 kilometers north of the exits for Olympos and Çıralı from the highway, and from the turnoff it's about 1 kilometer to the site entrance and another 1 kilometer to the ruins and the sea, and that's how you can reach this place. And there is a telepheric. If you are keen to sit on top of the world and look down on creation, this cable car climbs almost to the top of 2,375 meters high Tahtalı Dağ wooded mountain, the centerpiece of Beydağları Sahil National Park. The gondolas of this cable car seat 80 people and depart every half an hour in summer and hourly in winter. And the trip takes 10 minutes to reach to the peak. The turnoff from the highway is about 3 kilometers before Phaselis. A well-paved but steep road then carries on for 7 kilometers to the cable car's lower station at 725 meters. And now, let's come to the center of Antalya, okay? Well, it's once seen simply as the gateway to the Turkish Riviera. Antalya today is very much a destination in its own right. Situation on the Gulf of Antalya, Antalya Körfezi, the largest Turkish city on the western Mediterranean coast, is both classically beautiful and also stylishly modern. At its core is the wonderfully preserved old city district of Kaleiçi. In English, it means within the castle, and it offers atmospheric accommodation aplenty within a bundle of finely restored Ottoman houses. The old city wraps around a splendid Roman-era harbor. And just outside of the central city, there is one of the Turkey's finest museums. And first, let's have a look at the history of Antalya. Antalya was named Atalia after its 2nd century founder, Attalus II of Pergamum. His nephew, Attalus III, ceded the town to Rome in 133 BC, and the Roman Emperor Hadrian visited the city more than 2 centuries later. In 130 AD, he entered the city via a triumphal arch, now known as Hadrian's Gate, built in his honor. There followed a succession of new landlords. The Byzantines took over from the Romans, followed by the Seljuk Turks in the early 13th century, and the latter gave Antalya both a new name and an icon, the Yivli minare, fluted minaret in English. Okay. First, I want to mention Antalya Museum. You should not, absolutely not miss this comprehensive museum with exhibitions covering everything from the Stone Age and Bronze Age to Byzantium. The whole of regional excavations exhibit finds from ancient cities in Lycia, such as Patara and Xanthos, and Pamphylia, while the Hall of Gods displays beautiful statues of some 15 Olympian gods, many of them in near perfect condition. Most of the statues, including the sublime Three Graces, were found at Pergam. Upstairs are coins and other gold artifacts recovered from Aspendos, Side, and Byzantine sites. Taking pride of place is the so-called Elmalı treasure of almost 2,000 Lycian coins looted from Turkey in 1984 and returned from the USA some 15 years later. The museum is about 2 kilometers west of the Kaleiçi district, accessible on the old-fashioned tramway, just tram in English, from Kale Kapısı tram stop. And also I have to mention Hadrian's Gate also, commonly known as Üç Kapılar in Antalya, which means 3 gates. This monumental Hadrian's Gate was erected for the Roman Emperor's visit to Antalya in 130 AD. And there is also another museum. It is Suna and İnan Kıraç Museum. This small ethnography museum is housed in a lovingly restored Antalya mansion. The 2nd floor of this museum contains a series of life-size dioramas depicting some of the most important rituals and customs of Ottoman Antalya. Much more impressive is the collection of Çanakkale and Kütahya ceramics, housed in the former Greek Orthodox Church of Aya Yorgi, St. George, just behind the main house, which has been fully restored and is worth a look in itself. Another place that worth mentioning in Antalya is Sultan Alaaddin Cami, Sultan Alaaddin Mosque. This is a gem of a mosque and it is in the back alleys of Antalya. It began life as the Greek Orthodox Church in 1834 and was converted to a mosque in 1958. Just inside the courtyard gate, you can climb up the spiral staircase of the church's old bell tower. Inside the prayer hall, uniquely in Antalya, the original painted ceiling, with its intricate star motifs and angels, has been preserved. Well, there are no official opening times, but the mosque is usually open in the afternoons after midday prayer, and when you see the gate open, you can visit it. Okay, I will continue to talk about Antalya in our final lesson in the next video, and I will see you there. Okay, bye-bye, see you, take care.